Your body needs nutrients. Your body needs those macro and micronutrients. So if you're going to eat less, you have to make sure what you eat counts. One of the times when I gained so much weight, I was having a venti cold macchiato every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. One of the times when I was like 160 pounds. That is a choice, having 200 milligrams of caffeine at 5 p.m. in the day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I am Kay, and I'm back in the setup that I was in previously. I attempted to film in my lunch break when I was at work earlier this week, and I was filming Amberlynn Reed, Locale Bus, and I just wasn't feeling it. A lot of, I guess, the Locale Bus lore I'm just not familiar with, and the flow of the conversation just wasn't my vibe. I just couldn't continue to watch it. However, I'll post what I think is worth viewer consumption, viewer entertainment. That time that I spent recording won't be all for waste. I realized that I really haven't talked about myself or who I am at all. The last two videos that I have done with reactions really didn't give much backstory about who I am and what experience I have. A little bit about me: I am a wife and a mother. You'll probably see a few gaming videos that I've edited where me and my son playing different games together. I make sure not to use his name, not to show him in the video, and I alter his voice, which sometimes my voice is also altered to ensure that his voice is altered completely. Sometimes we talk over each other, and I want to make sure I protect him as his mom and make sure that as he gets older, he has autonomy and choices of how he wants to be presented online. And because he's so young-ish, I want to protect him from unnecessary drama, predators, and other people who might exploit him online. I'm currently in a career that I've been in for 13 years. I am shifting out of that career and going to have a huge change in my employment in the next couple of months. Once I have done that shift, I'll probably talk a little bit more about that, but at this time, I really don't want to disclose a lot about my employment and what I do for safety reasons, security reasons, making sure that I'm staying safe online. I went to college. I have a undergraduate degree in accounting, and I have a master's degree in human services. Fitness has been a huge part of my life. I've always enjoyed sports. I played soccer and softball the majority of my childhood. I was also in a running club. I never did track or cross country. Those seemed a little too running competitive for me, but I was in a running club where we just ran for fun, and for a long time I enjoyed running. I've done 2 half marathons, and I'll share that here. But as I got older, it's harder and harder to keep running. I do have a goal to do a half marathon with my neighbor later this year, and I feel pretty confident that we'll be able to do it. I have a certificate for being a cycle instructor, and when the panini happened, that prevented me from continuing to instruct cycling classes, and then I kind of lost the flow of instructing because it makes a difference, like how you instruct and give instruction and when it is in line with the beat and everything. It does impact like the flow and whether or not other people listening to you instructing enjoy the class. I've had some major life events throughout my life, and I have, I would say, since 2018, 2017, 2018, I've struggled with weight off and on. I have been class 1 obesity through BMI and body fat percentage. Even though I may have been on the lower end of the obesity spectrum, I was class 1 obese. I decided this past year to go on a GLP-1 and have medical assistance in my weight loss journey. And there was multiple reasons why I felt that I needed to have a weight loss journey. From July 2025 to December, I was on a GLP-1 and I lost about 30 pounds over that time span. I am now within a healthy BMI range, a healthy body fat percentage range, and I have come off the GLP-1. I'm working to continue to maintain my weight and preferably continue to lose a few more pounds so that it's easier to maintain the weight range that I want to be at. I will say that the GLP-1 significantly helped me with reducing my alcohol intake, my alcohol consumption. I wouldn't necessarily say that I am an alcoholic, but I did think about alcohol often. I wouldn't say no to having an alcoholic drink every day, and I really enjoyed alcohol. The GLP-1 helped quiet that noise. And honestly, alcohol doesn't have a whole lot of value in your life. There's no nutritional value to it. If anything, it's like a legal poison. And it can cause significant health complications if you overconsume alcohol. I do like and appreciate that effect that GLP-1s had on me. It also reduced my sugar cravings a lot. Again, I don't think I have a hinge eating disorder. I don't think I meet the criteria or have ever met the criteria for that, but I do think I might have hinge tendencies or hinge traits. And Melina from Honey Bison, she did a comparison saying that there's two types of hingers. One where it's easier to say no and remove yourself from temptation. The other side being that someone continues to think about whatever they want to eat until they have a slice or a piece or whatever it is. So I would say I'm in the first category where it's easier for me to say no from whatever it is that I may want to overindulge in. And there was a time where I would have like tons of Lindt chocolate truffles in my house. And I couldn't just have one. If I had one, I ended up having 10. And one of those Lindt chocolate truffle, they're about 70 calories. So if you're having 10 of them at a time because you don't feel like you can stop, that's like almost 1,000 calories in just chocolate and sugar. And that's not really healthy, and that's a great way to gain weight. So the combination of overindulging and consuming chocolates and snacks and things like that with also drinking often, I started gaining weight. But since then, I have lost about 30 pounds. I want to lose like 5 to 10 more so that way I can maintain the healthy weight range that I feel that I should be in. I am also 5'1". I am extremely short, so I shouldn't be super heavy. I do want to say the previous reactions that I've done with Megan Ann and Salmon Every Size, I did not make those videos to send hate to them. I was just commenting on their content of how they were commenting. I follow both of those creators. I enjoy a lot of their content, and it was not meant to be hateful in any way. I know I have had a few comments on my Megan Ann solo video, and honestly, there's nuance, and I truly think that there is an impact when a anti-fat commentator concurs with fat acceptance talking points, and it has the potential of creating confirmation bias amongst people who are looking for confirmation in their decisions. That's really the only nuanced comment that I would make or that I have on that. I think I might do a video reviewing each of the anti-fat acceptance, health at every size content creator I watch and who I feel would benefit from their content, because each one has a very different style of commentary in their videos. Some are, I would say, more harsh. Some are more politically correct. Some are in your face. Obviously, I enjoy them all. I would recommend it for anyone, but there is a time and place for different types of commentary. Sometimes someone needs a softer tone, And sometimes a harsher tone is enjoyable and necessary. The biggest thing is the viewer has to consider their own health and their own needs when they choose who to watch. If you're watching someone and it makes you feel extremely negative about yourself, then that's not the content creator for you. If you're watching someone and it makes you feel empowered, it makes you feel capable, it makes you feel that you can meet your goals and you can improve yourself, then you should probably continue watching that person. And if there's a content creator that like was off-putting to you, you can always come back and rewatch them later and see if maybe you now resonate more with them. And then as content creators continue to create more content, the way they create it also evolves and expands and is more developed. So it's possible that some content creators may have been extremely harsh at the beginning and then they get into a groove of how they want to present themselves and what they want their content to be, how it's going to be curated for their audience. So that's a little bit about me. Hopefully, this gives you a little bit of insight. I do want to continue to do commentary and reaction type videos. I do enjoy editing them and improving my editing skills. Also, about me, I often cosplay and I do various different characters. And I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers. And if I reach 500 subscribers, I will cosplay as Rapunzel. I think that would be fun, especially since my hair is extremely long. I think that'd be a really great cosplay to do. And I'll do a whole video cosplaying as Rapunzel. And I'll do a poll on what the topic should be for that video. I also want to talk about my shirt. I love this shirt. It says, "Women belong all places where decisions are being made." I'll also link where I got it from. I love the artist. My apologies. I kicked over my tripod. So as I was saying, if I hit 500 subscribers, I will cosplay as Rapunzel and I will do a poll on what the topic of my next video will be. And I'll also link where I got this shirt from because I love this artist. They have a bunch of different style stuff and I love supporting them. Also, because I am newer to creating commentary type content, any recommendations of improvement, I'd greatly appreciate. I know one improvement that I'm trying to make is actually looking at the camera versus the viewfinder. I will continue to do that going forward. And now we'll start watching what I ate in a day type product.
2 grams of protein. Who needs a protein shake when you can just eat tuna? Gonna add lots of cheese on there. My tuna melt is done, but hear me out. I'm adding cucumber flavored chip. Bro, that is probably one of my most favorite combos yet. Dinner time. Perfect.
So that tuna melt didn't seem completely terrible. I don't know what that sauce was that she was dipping it in. Sauces tend to have a lot of calories. I don't know how many calories were in that. The bread itself, I'm sure, was fine. Tuna is a good source of protein, and honestly, like any fish is really great. The chips, it didn't look like she had too many chips on the sandwich, and if that was the only chips that she ate, then I guess that's not so bad. Could have been worse. The tuna melt was okay. Wasn't completely terrible. Not as terrible as this next one, I'm assuming.
Water. What I ate today as a baddie. Good morning, baddies. I need more milk. Today's coffee flavor is white chocolate peppermint. For lunch, I'm making a tuna melt.
Okay, so I didn't see it from the beginning. I'm not a fan of McDonald's. McDonald's usually hurts my stomach. And I know there's like a lot of people who normally eat Whole Foods. Whole Foods meaning single ingredients foods, not the grocery store Whole Foods, but like chicken, turkey, vegetables, like those type of whole foods. Like most people who eat those, McDonald's and other things, tend to upset their stomach. Call it old age IBS, or maybe the fact that we've grown up with all of this processed foods this generation. We've gotten to the point where like our body just hates it. I would not recommend eating McDonald's, and I would not recommend having a super sugary, crazy coffee in the morning. I don't know what all was in the coffee. I know, like, for me personally, I like frou-frou drink coffees. So for me to make a healthier version of a frou-frou drink coffee, I normally brew coffee and then take a like Premier caramel protein shake, mix it in, maybe add a little bit of caramel drizzle, because like if you have a little bit, it's not too many calories, not too much sugar, to just make it like look fancy and feel fancy. But overall, the sugar content is significantly lower than what you would get at Starbucks. Oh, that's the other thing. One of the times when I gained so much weight, I was having a venti cold macchiato every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. One of the times when I was like 160 pounds. And I was like also drinking a lot during that time because I was sad. If you're used to drinking a lot of fruit drinks, substituting it with something that has more protein and less sugar is a great shift. I don't necessarily know what her coffee had, but if it's the case that it was higher protein and lower sugar, and she was making it at home, having it be frou-frou versus going to Starbucks as an alternative, then yeah, as an alternative, it was a much better choice. Okay, we're gonna go to the next reel. Oh, so I think the song might be copyrighted, so I'll put in a different song. And it's just a slideshow. It has a bunch of different foods, and it says DNI IF in recovery. I'm assuming it's someone who's in recovery for possibly not eating enough. And most of the food on all of the plates isn't a whole lot, but I do like that the majority of the foods are whole foods and seem to be focused on vegetables, fruits, and protein. I think that was really great. And if this was everything that they ate in one day, then I think they ate enough. But if it's things that they were eating throughout the week, then I would say that the calories were probably a little low. But given that they're in recovery, I'm proud of them for eating and making the choices that they were eating. Because if you're not going to be eating a lot, then what you do eat has a more significant impact to your nutrition. Anyone who's on a GLP-1 can agree and concur that GLP-1s, they lower your appetite, so you tend to eat less. So what you do want to eat usually includes protein and fiber, and not so much sugar and junk foods, because your body needs nutrients. Your body needs those macro and micronutrients. So if you're going to eat less, you have to make sure what you eat counts. And it looks like, even though they're eating less, what they're eating seems to be nutritious. Whoever this is, I wish them the best in their continued recovery journey.
What is up, skinny legends? Today I thought I'd do a what I eat in a day as a model that is also traveling. This morning I was up bright and early at the whopping 5 a.m. and of course your girl had to go to Starbucks. I saw this hack where you get 2 of the turkey bacon and egg white sandwiches and you get rid of 1 English muffin and then smush the 2 together so it's double the protein and half the amount of carbs, and it was so good. I definitely recommend. Then of course I had to try Starbucks' new iced sugar-free caramel protein latte. It was so good. I recommend. I had a chomps right before the flight because I don't really like to eat on flights. And then I had a tea, of course. Me and tea are like best friends. You'll see throughout this video. I drink tea not.
So that Starbucks breakfast sandwich hack, although I would recommend against fast food because you can do something like that at home. If you're traveling and out of all the options, the fast food options that you could do, that one seems not bad. It seems like the better options of all the options that you can do. But again, that's something that you could make at home and you can make it more healthy at home as well. I do like that she drinks tea. It looked like she was putting some sort of sugar or maybe sugar substitute in the tea. I'm interested to see what she normally puts in her teas, but overall, drinking tea throughout the day isn't bad. I don't have anything negative to say about that.
On freaking stop. And then we landed in Florida, got our lunch. I was really excited because I was starving. This was my lunch. I had some deviled eggs and some meatballs. It was so good. The deviled eggs slapped so hard, and the meatballs were really, really good. They were smothered in like this smoky barbecue sauce. It was really good. They came with some like fried onions on top, but I didn't eat those, which is totally fine. I just left them on the plate. And if you're here to judge, no one likes you anyway. So I finished my lunch and it was really good. Here was the aftermath. As you can tell, I enjoyed it. Then a little bit later,
After her lunch, the deviled eggs and the meatballs, again, that's like really high in protein. She seems to really care about her protein intake in all of her meals because she intentionally mentions it. She didn't mention it in her lunch, but everything that she ate for lunch are things that are high in protein, eggs and meatball. And she intentionally mentioned higher protein in the breakfast part of this video. And she also ate a chomp bar, which is like a beef stick, and now it looks like she's eating a 121 bar, which is like a protein bar. My assessment is that she cares very much about her protein intake during the day.
I had a protein bar, and low-key, Quest bars are a cheat hack on travel days because they have like 15 grams of fiber, and fiber is so important for me, especially on travel days. I need my fiber, and I had like no fiber all day except for this one moment. Of course,
I agree. Fiber is really important. Eat more fiber. Add more fiber to your diet. Your body will thank you.
we're drinking our water. We gotta stay hydrated, hydrate or dehydrate. Planes and flying also makes you severely dehydrated, so I was making sure to prioritize my hydration. Went to get my nails done and got a green tea. Went out to dinner and also got more tea, because what else is new? I got a Caesar salad with steak. Tell me why this is the tiniest little piece of steak I've ever eaten in my entire life. I ordered my Caesar salad with steak. I was expecting a nice filet mignon, but no. I had about an ounce of filet mignon. It was kind of disappointing. But I ate that and we were satisfied enough. Cleared that plate. Here was the aftermath. And of course,
a salad hack is adding protein to it. Don't eat a salad without protein. Whether that protein is steak or chicken or beans or chickpeas or legumes, which I'm pretty sure beans and chickpeas are legumes. But anyways, add protein to your salads. Do not have your salad just like some sad salad and drown it in dressing. That is not a good way to maximize your meal, because you want the protein in your salad. Your body needs protein. You should prioritize protein. My opinion, I'm not a nutritionist, but talk to a nutritionist, I'm sure they'll agree. You should prioritize protein in every single meal, and you should be aware of how much fiber intake you're taking throughout the day. And salads don't have to be sad. Like, if you add a bunch of chicken to it, if you add a bunch of steak to it, it's almost like a deconstructed steak sandwich or chicken sandwich, which, you know, anything deconstructed is fancy. So let's get bougie with our salads.
it's sweet treat o'clock. So I had 2 of those Unreals of the coconut ones. Oh my gosh, they slap so hard. They are so good. I had to put my mom on because they hit different every single time. I had 2 of those, and then after that I had a little sugar-free Russell Stover. I had 2 of those, and I hit my macros perfectly today. I'm really happy. I was a little under in protein by like 11 grams, but that's okay. But the calories, hit them perfectly. Anyways, that's pretty much all that I ate today. I'm satisfied. I'm full. I'm pleasantly happy with the day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you like these videos, let me know, because this was a lot of fun to make. I also make a mean protein ninja creamy, so I'll show that when I get home. I love y'all. Bye. What is up, skinny?
I'm surprised that that was 19,000 cal or 19,000 calories. 1,900 calories? That's a decent amount of calories. I'm assuming she's tall because she's a model. She probably needs more calories than I do because I'm so short. She's a tall model. She is slim, and 1,900 calories. That's not bad. Like, she is eating. That is a decent amount of food. Yeah, I have nothing additional to say on this video other than what I have already mentioned. I had to back up because I didn't fully read the caption. I'm a slow reader, so I might pause it to read it. Okay, Greek yogurt with honey and frozen cherries. That's not bad. Especially if the Greek yogurt was plain Greek yogurt. That usually has a higher amount of protein with no added sugars. Honey is a good sweetener alternative. Just be aware of how much honey you're adding to it, because that can add up in calories if you add a lot of honey or you don't measure it out. And frozen cherries, I have nothing bad to say about fruit or adding fruit to any meal. Any fruits and vegetables, sometimes I'll track, but if I don't track them, I don't feel guilty for not tracking them, because fruits and vegetables are always good to eat at any time of the day. Chicken hash brown bowl. That seems decent. Chicken is good. That's a great source of protein. I don't know what kind of hash browns those are, but potatoes are carbs. I don't know what else is in there, if there's like any kind of sauce or seasonings or anything like that. I know for my chicken, I usually put crushed pepper on my chicken, and the calories are so minute, they're so minuscule that they're almost negligible to track. I try to use seasonings on my food where the calories are so low that it doesn't matter if I don't track them. I prioritize seasoning with extremely low calories. And if it's a seasoning or a sauce with a significant amount of calories, I make sure to measure it or try to make sure to measure it. Grapes, again, like I had said, I have nothing bad to say about adding fruits and vegetables to your meals. Absolutely. Add more of them. Okay. Ultra processed oatmeal cream pie. I'm sure there are some alternatives that could be chosen over this. I think if she replaced that with something else, because she could almost replace that with like a small meal for the same amount of calories as that small little ultra processed oatmeal cream pie. If you think about it, it could be like probably like 200 calories. You can get a healthy choice meal that's like 170 calories that would be more filling and more satiating than this little treat, in my opinion. That is a choice, having 200 milligrams of caffeine at 5 p.m. in the day. I believe most studies recommend not having caffeine after 2 p.m. That way, it ensures that you don't have any residual caffeine in your system when you start to wind down and go to bed. So, that is a daring choice, having 200 milligrams of caffeine with a Celsius drink at 5 p.m. Okay, I'm stopping the recording now. I greatly appreciate you being here and spending time with me. If you have any recommendations for how to improve my content, let me know. I will not be continuing to do the low-cal bus and Berlin Read content. I did not enjoy watching that, and I felt very confused most of the time, so I am not going to continue to watch that and stay confused. Again, if I hit 500 subscribers, I will do a cosplay of Rapunzel, and I'll do a poll to see what kind of topic you'd like me to do. I'll do more goal-based cosplays in the future as well. Comment below if there's anything that I should improve. Comment a coffee emoji if you made it to the end so that I know you made it to the end, because who doesn't like foo-foo coffees, especially if they're switched with a healthier version. Again, my name is Kay, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye.